So now we've had about a week of rain, and I have not been very active building, and I need to do some painting, and I had a little challenge making my paint, but it is actually, looks like it's worked really well. This was just a little test. It doesn't cover real well, but this morning there was rain on here. There was rain on this beam, and here it had sort of sucked in to the wood, and here there was these big raindrops, so it looks like it's really keeping the water out of the wood. So, and my beautiful little flower, so it's coming step by step. And these boards, as I said, have just been on this floor, just loosely, so I could walk up and down the stairs here, which are not finished yet, but they are working. All very simple. So right now I'm going to paint this area, and really I hope it doesn't rain today. But I want the top, all this, I want all this top area to be white. And here I have my paint. And down underneath I'm going to paint it with tar, because tar is very good for wood that is in a wet area. So let's do some painting. Now this beautiful milk paint I made, which I feel really good about. It has to be stirred, and you can sort of see how it's the pigment falls to the bottom. And they say that you actually have to just stir it quite often when you're painting with it. But as I said in the paint making video, this was actually supposed to be like yogurt, but it's not. So I should have added less water to this mixture. But I mean, I don't really care. I mean, I've done what she said, and I think it looks really wonderful. And I don't mind being able to see the wood through. So I just think it's fascinating how you can do things yourself like this. It's just so fascinating. I mean, and it's even cheaper, of course. And you're not supporting all this horrible paint production. It's just flaxseed oil and milk and chalk. It's so simple. So let's get this painting going, so we can have a beautiful white fence here. I need to cut this off properly, but and I can actually just stand down here. That's the easiest. And you did actually say to use a steel brush first, but I'll just see how we go. Trust the process. It does look like it's sucking in nicely. And apparently when you're painting with this paint, you have to finish, before you have a break, finish what you're doing, because otherwise you're going to get a mark when you start again. So they say it's wet and wet. This is looking beautiful. And if I have to paint it 3 times, oh well, so what? No big deal. The thing is, in this climate that's so wet, usually very wet, wood just has to be protected. In drier climate, it's very different. And then the whole thing of the wood being bad quality, because today wood is grown with artificial fertilizers, and it pushes the growth, and so you get fast growing trees that make not very good wood. It's like with meat and everything else. You have these fast growing animals and they're not good for you to eat. And the same with the wood. Fast growing wood is not the way to go, unless you just want to burn it quickly. But I mean, I think even for burning it's not very good quality. So that's the facts of life right now. So the more I protect this, the better. And they say that the worst for wood is the UV lights from the sun and water. Those 2 things are the hardest on the wood. It's very easy to paint with. I mean, if you use linseed oil paint, it's much harder to paint with. You really have to watch out. You're not using too much. Here you can just really, you can use a thick layer, really. Although, I think with any paint, anything you're painting, the less you put on each time, the stronger the paint is going to end up being. That's going to go. This is just so wonderful. And I love the colour. I was afraid that it was going to be dark or sort of brown from that dark linseed oil, but it's not. It's beautiful. And who knows, one day I might make more paint and make different colours. Would be fun. Make a pink one. But I mean, white is just so beautiful. And you can have your flowers and things that that really give colour. But white is so beautiful and neutral and so clean. And it's actually kefir. It's a kefir paint, which is funny. So I wonder how many microorganisms are actually alive in here, because it's not been heated or anything. Move on. Next step. Please don't rain. Dear Lord, please just let me do this. And a week ago we were begging for rain. Human beings, oh my God. It's actually important to to get the sand off, of course. But it's just wonderful when you're not a perfectionist. You don't mind some things that look a bit funny. Here comes the rain. I might just paint it on top also. But I'm going to put a board, I'm actually going to put a board over this. So it's not really necessary. Beautiful stuff. It smells nice too. And they say when you've painted it, that this recipe comes from a museum in Denmark, where they restore and are keeping old buildings. And as a woman who uses this, she's the one who's doing this painting every year, and she uses this recipe. It's an old recipe, and she says, I mean, once you've painted and it's well painted, you can wait 5 to 10 years before you have to paint again. And it's breathable. See, this doesn't come off like plastic. It sucks into the wood. So it will just fade and sort of just become like thinner. And you just put a new layer on. So you're never going to have to scrape this off ever. So it's actually also like a cream. It goes in and treats the wood. So what I also want to have white are these beams. I'd love to be able to paint them today, but we'll just have to see what the Lord wants, whether He wants me to. But that would be really, really great if I could get them done. And underneath I'm gonna give them tar. So at the top they'll be white, and underneath they're gonna be darker. It's got this, I had this clothesline on there. And it is, I mean, you can paint all the boards before you build, but really it's so easy once you've built it to paint it, because it's all standing there for you. So this is just the easiest. But the thing is, you don't know when you're building something, you don't know whether you're going to get lots of rain, and so the whole thing is getting really wet, and lots of sun, maybe lots of light, and it's degrading. The wood will be degrading while it's just sand sitting there, because you can't really paint when the wood is wet. You have to wait till it dries. Oh, I just love this. It's so beautiful. Oops. Where is it? So we can get Thank you, Lord, for wood. Wood is such a beautiful product, material. I put these on the top here, and it's just so simple. But I put them on because you have to keep the water out of the beam from the top there. It's all nails sticking out. It's looking really very, very... but it's just a matter of having something there so that the water doesn't suck into that. Because you can see when the waters come, when the rains come, it's all wet up the top here, the beam. So that's why I put that there. So I'll just keep going. See you, my friend.